Which rider, past or present, would you say you've learned the most from, either watching their technique or like talking to them?
I think maybe RV or even Stuart, but I'm not really close to Stuart. Worked with RV for a year and taught me a few things.
I think recently I've learned a lot from Anderson, Jason Anderson. He's the way he rides. Been studying him quite a bit.
That's a good question. I think someone that I really tried to duplicate when I was younger, more like for outdoors and stuff, was Stefan Everts. Used to just like watch his GPs. I think it was like '06. I'd watch a lot of his GPs and just trying to kind of mimic his standing. And so that would be one, yeah.
Probably Dungey, because Minnesota guy, and I've talked to him a couple times just like about like Loretta's, like his experience and stuff like that. So I'd probably say Dungey is probably the most influential on me and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, being teammates with Ken Roxon this summer was really cool. It was not a whole lot of like technique stuff or like riding stuff necessarily. It was more other things that didn't really pertain to necessarily like on the bike. So mostly just stuff on how to be better on race day. And I struggled with jet lag whenever we did those World Supercross races, so that was the biggest thing, was learning stuff on how to kind of get over it quicker and kind of be able to change. We were doing 9 to, I think Abu Dhabi was like 17 hours ahead. So that's a big time change, and just learning how to adapt quicker and be more ready on race day. So that was probably the biggest thing I learned from him.
I mean, I would always choose present, like current 450 or 250 top riders, because it's good to learn from like the past videos and stuff, but you always want to,
Any rider in particular that you kind of watch, maybe?
I mean, my teammates are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen and Hunter is riding really good. But yeah, always chasing the new school, like newest style on the bike, and yeah.
Glendale, we know, is always pretty long. Have you ever had a moment in your career where long track, maybe get a little bit lost, you don't know what rhythm you're jumping into or something weird like that?
Yeah, it definitely happens just because, each week we have to learn a new track and stuff, and sometimes it does, you kind of get a brain fart here and there, and thankfully nothing bad has happened, but it does happen sometimes, yeah.
That's happened a couple times in my career, but not too much.
No? Okay.
But when I did the Red Bull straight rhythm, talking about long rhythms and long lanes, like that was hard to remember, and like that took a few runs for sure to memorize. But this isn't too bad.
No, I'd say I'm pretty sharp between the ears for the most part. But now that I say that, you might see something wild here on press day. So not yet, but you never know.
No, I never had that problem yet. I mean,
knock on wood.
yeah, but no, every time I ride, I just like, I'll try to put myself in like really good focus. Yeah. Don't try not to do any brain farts or anything. Just like make sure you're focused. So
Maybe it's, I don't know. We're also focused that it's like hard to, but this is the place that you could do it at. The other day at the test track, I don't know. I got a little lost, but I think race day you're so focused in, but yeah, every now and then.
I've been like that at, I want to say, Atlanta last year. There was a couple long rhythms, obviously at the speedway track. There were long rhythms, and I do get a little bit like mixed up, but I think this takes the cake for the longest rhythm I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's like 15 jumps or something. So.
I don't know. It's 29, 30. So, dude, it's gnarly. There's a lot.
I'm actually excited to ask you this because you've had a long career. What's your worst travel story that you've had going to the races?
Worst travel story. Obviously your typical delays and stuff like that. I'm sure there's one I'm forgetting, but
I know you do like standby flights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the standby is I haven't done that in a while, but my wife, she's a flight attendant, and so she sees how many seats are available before we do it. So it's like if there's like 25, then we'll be like, yeah, we'll do it. But I would say probably last year, the whole Rockstar Husky team, it was 22, and this plane, I swear to God, dropped like 200 feet out of the sky. Like it just dropped, and everyone screamed on the plane, and like we were all just shitting our pants. It was like a drop of doom. Like I thought we were going down, and Mookie was on there, and he grabbed the guys behind him, hands, like we were bracing. So quite funny.
Was this like high altitude or like landing? You were coming in and it dropped.
No, it was just high altitude. Like we hit an air pocket or something, and we just dropped, and like everyone on the plane was screaming. It was like off of a movie, and I was shitting myself.
I just heard Dino talking about this. Worst travel story. I was on first one that comes to mind. I was on a plane last year, and AP was sitting right in front of me.
Okay.
And we were like, there's major turbulence.
Yeah.
Like we were going through a huge storm off the coast of Florida. I'm not sure which race we're coming back from, but like they had to circle around. We were in the air for an extra like hour, just trying to get away from the storm, and a couple drops. Like I thought we were gonna die. Me and AP both thought we were going down.
Oh man.
We were saying our last prayers.
Oh man, I don't think I have one, knock on wood, that sticks out. So I would like to keep it that way if possible, but knowing this question's coming up, I'm sure I'll have something this year happen, and I'll lose a gear bag or something. I'll show up and have to ride naked. You never know. So. Yeah, I can't say anything too bad has happened.
I don't know. Oh, this is like my first year ever going to Ponca and Redes. I was driving in a van on the way. My grandpa was behind us. Trailer completely burned down with everything in it. So I think that's maybe one of them. I've had a lot of flight cancellations that I've been bummed out on. Trying to get home Saturday nights after the races, and it just doesn't work out at all. But yeah, I think now for me it's just the flights. It sucks. But yeah.
Last year, East West Shootout, going to, was it? Jersey. Dude, we get to Phoenix, flight gets canceled. American Airlines, did they lose our bags? Yeah, they lost our bags. They didn't comp our hotel. Didn't do anything, and we showed up last second on Friday to do anything, and it was pretty terrible.
Miserable.
Pretty terrible, but it is what it is.
Oh, I mean, last year I had a lot of them. Yeah, it's like one time I don't know what happened to my plane, but I had connection flight, and my first flight was delayed 2 hours.
Okay, yeah.
So I had 5 minutes in between to get on the next flight. If I missed that, and I would have waited 14 hours, oh my God, I would just sprint myself way to the gate, kind of push people around. I made it though, last person on the plane.
Good
so
deal.
yeah,
All right.
stress.